I'm going to be teaching you the basics in my way of FL Studio. Right now I'm running FL Studio 11 point something, I forget. But right now I'm going to teach you basically what everything does and how to get started with just making drum loops, and I guess we'll save the piano roll for another video. Anyway, to go over all this, file does everything else like a normal program. You can open new projects, save stuff, export stuff, edit, lets you copy all that. Channels is kind of important for VSTs because they allow, going to add one allows you to go to all of your VSTs for making sound, which we will explore later. You can clone and all that. You don't really have to use any of these unless you're a power user, but this one's really important. View lets you show all the things you want. Playlist is this. Step sequencer is this. Piano roll is that. And browser is this. And then the mixer is that. That's basically all you need to use. Options allows you to go through all your MIDI, like for my MIDI piano that I have over here. Change your audio buffer, go to ASIO, or change your inputs and outputs. Change your general settings, where your files are saved and what files are associated with this section, and your debug. Tools is like a riff machine if you want to experiment with that, see what the program itself can come up with. You can set a bunch of macros, all that. And help is help. So anyway, this is your time. Goes 1 is 2 of these bars, which it appears to be. This is a pattern which plays up here. If you click down to song or press L, it'll start playing down here in your playlist. The playlist is where you organize all your instruments together in one. Patterns are where you organize each instrument's own. Here's the play, stop, record. This allows you to sweep between song position quickly if you have a large song. This is your tempo. This is very important. 140 is the general for dubstep. 120 is general for house. And 125 to 128 is general for house. And then anything below that, 100 to 110 is glitch hop. 117 is usually hip hop. 175 is usually drum and bass. So I go down to generic house. This allows you to quickly select your patterns and paste them here. There's pattern 4, pattern 3. So I don't have anything in them, so it doesn't do anything. This little section lets you quickly swap between things. So here's your playlist. Lets you get rid of it and put it back. Step sequencer, piano roll, plugin picker, and the sidebar, and your mixer. This allows you to undo, save, and all that quickly with one click. This allows you to turn on a keyboard on your computer keyboard in case you don't have a MIDI piano, and all the other stuff that you'll have to figure out because I don't really use it. News. This shows your RAM and CPU usage, and this shows like a general waveform and if you're clipping or not your decibel monitor. So anyway, to get a simple kickoff of how to use the step sequencer, let's use just some generic, I think it would be Roland samples. So I'm just going to choose some simple stuff, throw it in. So you take a sample and drag it into put it into the step sequencer. You just click, hold, drag it in, drop it. I'm going to do some quick editing of these. So the shaker, it's a little too long, so you can adjust the volumes of the ins and outs. That's good. So anyway, to compose in this, get general beats, you click on the square where you want to hit, where you want the sample to hit. So house is usually a 4/4 pattern like that, which means 1 on every fourth. You just click, and that's a generic drum kick. And this acts like a Roland TR-808 or the new TR-8. So you just click where you want to hit this, where you want the samples to hit. I'll do so. And the general layout for a house drum loop is a kick, snare drum and kick in unison, and then repeat that. And then to speed it up a little bit, you can get a hi-hat in between. You can mix up with open hi-hats. Adjust that a little bit. Then you can get really subtle with things like clicks. Now this is a sample pack that I got off of Gold Baby. They're free and they're very high quality. It does a very good job with it. So you can add a few things, make it a little faster. Then claps are also nice to add a little more oomph to it, give a little bit different in sound. Shorten that. I tend to like short cutoffs, but if you like, you can go the whole way. And if you want to change the cutoff of a sample like this, just click on that, go to this window, pre-computed effects, out, and turn that up to shorten it, turn it down to lengthen it. Shakers. Not a real fan of that shaker. So to delete things and send them to the piano roll and all that, right click on it and this menu opens, lets you cut, copy, paste, all that. Delete. Okay. And a general opening to the mixer to quickly put everything in a mixer in each channel, because right now everything is being sent through one channel and through the master. To quickly put all of them, right click on one of these little slits right there, drag down while holding, right click on one of these starting from this track, or you can press Shift Control L, and each instrument will be in its own track. So you can do this. You can see that each instrument has its own level, and you can see how loud each one is, and even where the panning is. And basically what mixing is matching the level so it sounds good. These are all pretty well matched since they're all from the same sound pack, but you can further adjust them by increasing or decreasing the volume of certain tracks. Panning is also very useful to create dynamics between each ear. So as you can see, this with the panning adds a lot more dynamics. You can do things like you can, with the hi-hats, I could clone this and then swap between each one. And this one, select and put it to a different track. Pan it a little bit to the left instead of the right. And also you can do adjust volume and panning here, but I find it easier just do it in the mixer where you see it all up front and very visible. So now with that, with its alternating, I'll have even more dynamics. Swap this to the right. As you feel like it's moving a little bit. That's a generic introduction, I guess, to the step roller and all the basic functions behind FL Studio. I'll move on to the playlist and the piano roll and other videos, or other videos that my friends do. So this is just how to get quickly started and just learn the basics of creating beats and all that. So I'll just create one more pattern, try and get a little more inventive, see what happens. There you go. It's a little more complex than the first one. That has more of a melodic feel to it. There you go. Tutorial 1 done.